Welcome to another conversation in People in Fundraising. This podcast features interviews with nonprofit professionals who discuss their career journeys, lessons learned, and enthusiasm for working in fundraising. And here is your host, the founder of People in Fundraising, Tim Wilson.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another conversation in the weekly social impact podcast series, People in Fundraising. Today is Thursday, June 4th, 2026, and I am really excited to welcome today's guest, Maria Chacaltana, to People in Fundraising. Good afternoon, Maria.
Good afternoon, Tim. So happy to be here. So honored to.
Wow,
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you for watching, listening to previous episodes. Maria and I got connected through a post by Kevin Fitzpatrick of One Visit Away a few months ago. And she shared her enthusiasm for the fundraising profession and corporate partnerships and sponsorships and other parts about development and social impact work. So I'm really excited, Maria, for you to share your career journey with us today.
Absolutely. Well, are you going to start from the beginning?
That sounds good.
Okay, I am a communication strategy and partnership builder. I'm Peruvian. I came from Peru. I grew up there. And I studied communication science in the university and worked in a couple of advertising agencies and market research companies also, until I founded my own advertising company, a small one, but I work with different industries, connecting customer with solutions through meaningful messaging and finding out the unique value for each product and service I work with. And I really enjoyed my job there. Then I did that for 15 years until I ended in non-profit world. I started volunteer in a cancer shelter, and that was a turn. That changed all my career path. That's focusing non-profit world. So now I'm based in Texas, in the United States, and I am trying to connect people, to fundraise missions, the mission of different nonprofits also, and here I am.
Awesome. I'm curious, a couple of things. So you're based now in Texas, and how can people connect with you on LinkedIn or your company website, things like that?
Yeah, I don't have a website yet. No,
Okay.
I am building. I'm in the process. No, but I landed a firm. It names AC Growth Partners because I believe really in connections to. I think fundraising is the outcome of our connections with other people.
Yes.
And that's the way I build up my career path. For me, the connections are very special because I started this journey in a shelter. I was a volunteer in a cancer shelter, and I want to make you this to you for you and your audience can have this context around this kind of place. What means a cancer shelter in Peru.
Yeah.
Almost, in my country as well, in my home country as well, in different countries around South America and some of Latin America also, the public health system is deeply centralized. So lots of low-income patients, most of them, they have to travel long distance to receive treatment in the main capital, in the main cities. There's some hospitals are building already in some major cities, but most of the people have to travel long distance to receive treatment in the main hospital in the capital. And it's an oncology hospital. It's for cancer. And they have to, it's terrible because they have to travel, some days, 2 days. They came far away for little towns, or different regions all over Peru, and they have to travel by boat one day, and they go by bus.
Wow.
Most of them have to travel have to make that road trip. Some lucky ones, they take an airplane, but most of them have spend 2 days for get to arrive to the main city.
Mm.
So this is so the work that what this that non-profit I work with, was doing as well as many all other non-profits in Peru and as well in South America doing for those people are very important because they allow them to not interrupt don't abandon the treatment,
Right.
giving them this space, safe space, developing skills there, helping them because they arrive to the capital without nothing, they don't have
Yeah.
this very little thing, little bags with some small belongings, and that's it.
Mm.
And they have to leave everything in their towns. They have to leave, their work, their jobs, their family, and other loved ones. Someone
Sure.
they take one children who is the sick one, and leave the other. It's terrible. So they come confused, they arrive confused, they arrive lost, this noisy city,
Sure.
big city, so are really scared. So
Yeah.
that is so important that work all these organizations are doing around this need. So I started going back to my volunteer work. I started to volunteer in that place. I remember very well, I started in February in 2016. I received a call of one of my good friends, to join her with a visit in this shelter. I
Mm.
wasn't that sure because, I was thinking about, okay, it's a cancer shelter. It's not be a sad place. But finally, I decided to go with her. Just for one time, I go with you. Okay,
Yeah.
I joined you. And then when I arrived, this was totally wrong because it wasn't a sad place, It was
Mm.
a very nice environment. There were some women chatting and knitting, together in the living room, and there were kids, running all over the place because kids are amazing, Even they are sick, they have this beautiful energy and
Yeah.
they live the present, they just focus in the present. And
Yeah.
that was one of the lessons, the biggest lesson I received from them. I
Mm.
always call those patients are my teachers of life, because they
Yeah.
taught me those important things. So
Mm.
and then they have this little garden, in the back, in the back, with this playground for them. So I really like the place. I really like the energy. I really like the way they receive they welcoming all the volunteers because they come and hug you, and it was so nice. So
Sure.
I wanted to stay there. I stayed there, I started my own art workshop, because besides I am a fundraising consultant. I love to paint and I love
Oh,
to do all
nice.
this kind of art for. So I took all my things to my stuff to the shelter and to create my artwork there,
That's
for all
great.
the kids. Yeah, and those this kind of superhero mask and this kind of bracelet for the girls and everything, no?
That's so
And
thoughtful.
yes, and I get really involved with the mission, and we
Mm.
had a remarkable conversation with all the patients and all the kids and the mother of the kids. And I had a very deep connection with one of what was my first deep connection was patient. She was a girl, was a 16 years old girl, a teenager. She was from Ucayali. Ucayali is in the rainforest in Peru.
Oh,
It's very far away. So she was one of the patients that has to have, long distance, travel a lot, from there. She had leukemia and she was in a wheelchair and she
mm.
was with her grandmother.
Wow.
She was abandoned by her mother, when she was
Wow.
little. And she was very, very, very sad story.
Yeah.
But beside that, in spite of that, she was a really happy teenager because she always was smiling. She loves to sing, she
Mm.
always was singing Christian songs. She was a quiet believer. It was amazing. So
Yeah.
we really get really, really connected, together.
Sure.
Yeah. So, and I will remember because this story is important for why I'm doing what I'm doing now.
Great. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I remember she told me then that she wanted to celebrate her birthday because she was going to turn 17 years
Mm.
old then. And she was the same age my daughter then. So we connect that,
Oh, okay.
because of that also. No? And so okay, I decided to plan her birthday, So planned with another volunteers, to take her to have lunch for her birthday. She loved this chicken fried with fries and chocolate cake. So we took her to a restaurant, just for having all this stuff. And we gave her some presents also. And so she
Mm.
was so happy that day. It was a
Oh,
beautiful day, really nice day.
that's
So she
beautiful.
was and she was singing always, and she was there then, and she was really grateful about this, and she was uh, telling us that she wanted to become a psychologist because she wanted to
Mm.
help people and everything. So the day went really well, and then I took them to the shelter again, and then went back home.
Mm.
And 2 hours later, I received a call from the shelter telling me that she was in the hospital.
Oh no.
So I was, shocked. I was so confused. What happened? Because she was so happy, and what everyone was happy. It was a happy day. What happened then? So
Right.
I decided to go to the hospital, and I arrived to the ER of this, public hospital, and it was so crowded, a lot of people
Mm.
there, and I found her in the corner, in her wheelchair with her grandmother, and she was crying and crying and crying, and she was so anxious. And I talked to the nurse, and the nurse told me that she was having a breakdown, you know.
Mm.
He didn't know why, and I was thinking, okay, that's my fault because, it was too much emotion for one day.
Oh,
I should know that what I did,
oh,
but I didn't feel fight at all, so I just get closer to her and I sit down by her side, and there was the nurse put some medicine to relax her,
yeah.
and what I can do now. She was keep crying, so okay, I'm going to start to sing, and I started to sing. But I am really a bad singer, really, really, really bad singer. No, I didn't think louder because I didn't want to have trouble in the ER, but
Right.
but that worked because she just calmed down, and just she
Mm.
fell asleep. But
Um,
so I just went to the shelter to pick up some blankets and some jacket for them,
yeah.
And when I arrived to the shelter, there was some member staff of the shelter waiting for me, So,
Mm.
so what did you do? What did you do?
Right.
The volunteers get very enthusiastic with all this, our patient, and they have to be calmed down. You don't can do this, and
Yeah.
blah blah blah. No, and so I just okay, yes, you are right. It's my fault, whatever. No, so I went
Mm.
back. I just gave them the blanket and everything, and went back home. But then I feel really bad because that was my first time when I was volunteer in this special place, and I want to do my best for them. And
Sure.
I felt like a failure, That was
Um,
that was a really bad experience, that moment for me,
I
you
see.
know.
Yeah.
But then, okay, so I decided I won't go back to the shelter by now. I have to focus in my work. I am a writing executive, so I have to go to there again.
Yeah.
So, but then I received a text message from my friends, volunteer friends. Even the videos called me, okay, you have to come back. What are you doing? So everyone, so I did. I wanted to okay, no, no, not right now, maybe later.
Mm.
Until I get a call from her, from
Oh.
Angieska. The name of the girl is Angieska.
Ah, okay.
And was Angieska. So Angieska called me and told me, Auntie Annie, because they call me Auntie Annie because I volunteer
Oh,
this crazy lady that come here to have art talk with us.
yeah,
So
yeah. Oh,
so they will really like me, I think. So
yes.
they call me Auntie Annie. So Auntie Annie, you have to come back. And she told me, you can't quit.
Mm.
You can quit because I won't quit either.
Oh, wow.
So I need you. So that
Mm.
was one of the things I remember until today, because this girl in this wheelchair, coming from traveling from so long distance, and she wasn't doing that well, with
Right.
the treatment. So uh, she was facing the hardest time of her life.
Sure.
Was telling me don't to quit. So, why
Right.
me? I don't have nothing to. So I went back there. So
Mm.
unfortunately, she passed away.
Oh,
No,
no.
months later. But
Mm.
and then I became the director of the shelter. I became the director of the housing program with the Peruvian
Oh,
Council Foundation, that is the nonprofit that runs that shelter. And
wow.
I was working with them 2 years, and I, you know, uh, oversee the operations of the shelter, oversee these 30 uh, people, staff of 30 people, psychologists, nurses, social assistants, and so on.
Yeah.
So, and I do my work, with those words, those
Mm.
words from Angieska, don't quit because we won't quit. And I decided that I wanted to be the voice for all these community members, we
Sure.
serve, because
Yeah.
sometimes they are unseen and they are forgotten.
Right.
So we can quit, we can quit. We have to keep going on, in order
Yes,
to get, this mission, keep moving, to
definitely.
transform those lives. So for me, that's the reason I ended in this nonprofit world. And this gets me more, clear with that experience. I have another kind of experience, but I think that was the first one that really was, made me everything clear, about
Right.
this practice named
Right.
fundraising.
You're right.
Yes.
Well, that is a very touching and moving story, Ani. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see how important that young girl was in your experience there and the pivot it was for your career to get into nonprofit work.
Yeah, and it's about connecting, because when I see the connection and these kind of stories, I remember I became the spoken person for the nonprofit also.
Mm,
Yeah, at that time, because I could tell all kind of stories of the different patients we have,
yeah.
and I want to highlight the importance of being a volunteer,
Yes.
because volunteers are closer to the field, they are closer to the community. So the stories they are telling our goal to connect donors and partners to the mission,
Yeah.
and sometimes volunteers are not, aware about the amazing work they are doing for
Mm,
others. Sometimes you are thinking, I'm not good enough for this, or maybe I'm not doing I'm not doing enough for them, and you are
yeah.
totally wrong, because you are doing a lot, because you are not never going to know exactly how much you are touching those lives,
Right.
for
That
all
is
these
true.
people. So really was a very nice experience, and I started volunteering, and I think that was the best I could do then,
Yeah.
to be grounded, and really to face my next role in the director of this housing program,
Mm,
and to do what afterwards like consultant, and always I think for me as a fundraising consultant, I have to be, closer to the field. I have to know that the mission from the field, I have to know the community. I have to talk with them,
right.
because those are the stories I'm going to bring to the people who wants to found the mission, because there are
Absolutely.
people, behind the donor, the donor role, and the corporate, leader role, and this institutional donor, or maybe that individual, this donor, major donor, there is
Right.
a human being, yeah, with own story, with
Absolutely.
own interest,
That's very true.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it's connecting those people, no, to found this mission and to transform lives in the way.
Yes. Well said.
Yeah, so
I'm curious, Ani, you just mentioned, learning about the work and connecting with people. What was it like for you to go from the volunteer nonprofit experience in Peru to the United States and the nonprofit environment here?
it's another adventure.
Uh,
You never stop learning, It was,
right.
yeah, you can believe, a Peruvian coming from the global south, living here now in Texas, I
Yeah.
came here because of my husband work, he wanted he worked remotely, but he needed to be in the United States based, so I joined him. We have grown up kids, so they stay in Lima. But
Oh,
we came together here, and for me was fascinating, because I experienced firsthand what always knew about Global North founding because it's a different, some people does, don't know about the difference between both, you know.
Sure.
But in the Global North, you are well documented, you have this specialization, you have the structure, you
Mm.
know, and you have professionalism also in this career. It's a career, the
Right.
fundraising. In the
Right.
global south, you learn everything from the field. You build your fundraising skills from the ground. I
Ah,
did, So
yes.
you afterwards go for the theory, look for the theory. You
Right.
start with the practice first.
I
So
see.
so, but we have our strengths because we have all this creative and innovation, that born from scarcity and all this instability, political instability in global south is a constant,
Right.
economic and uncertainty also. So we have to learn how to look for new opportunities. We believe in community engagement,
Mm.
and we build up those stories from the field. Our goal to connect donors and partners also,
Mm.
for the mission. So individual giving is not that good, there, so we
I
have
see.
to go to the governments and corporate partnership and develop, skills between our own community, our own ecosystem. I'm part of this, talking about that, I'm part of AEDROS. AEDROS is a network of Latin American nonprofits.
Mm.
It's amazing. They started in Argentina, and now they are expanding. There are a lot of members, around the different countries. We
Oh,
have
okay.
more than 250 nonprofits all
Wow.
over Latin American, and it's amazing because they are helping each other. You're supporting the ecosystem.
Yeah.
So I believe in those kind of alliance, to grow together because you can grow alone, you know.
Right.
You need others to grow also.
Yes.
And about fundraising, it's about supporting each other, because you want to make a bigger impact, you can't make just a little impact. You want to go,
Right.
yeah. You, you want to
Yeah.
expand your impact, so that is amazing, to work together. And that's the reason I land this film here, because there is some global north organizations that have operations in Latin America also, so
Mm.
they can expand their mission. And sometimes they are not that connecting to the work in the field, and it's not just about language, it's about culture too, also,
Right.
so I am building the bridge, between
Yeah.
those both worlds,
I see.
and to attract donors for those missions also. And if we talking about corporations, the corporations now, because everything is changing, we are living in a world that is constant in change. So uh, they want to invest in development, not just in specific solutions,
Mm.
everything changed, now
Yeah.
I have, talked with corporate leaders in South America, and they are focusing development as well here.
Okay.
So if you are, a non-profit, just focusing one need, that's great because it's your mission. But
Sure.
you can partner with another non-profit, in where you have operations that maybe can, complement your work, in the
Yeah.
different, to create development, to expand your mission and to make a bigger impact.
Yes.
No, because you want, because those it's funny, it's not, it's a reality, those corporate donors, those corporate partnership, because a corporation never is a donor in their investments. So
Uh-huh.
they want to invest in development because they want to bring back their investment.
Sure.
They want to open new markets, they want to have new customers. So and that's nothing wrong about that. It's good, for
Yeah.
everyone, to grow together. So that vision is what I'm working with, It's about, connecting people, behind the organizations and behind the corporations, to make things happen, and to
I
change,
see.
change realities.
I see. And you're company, AC Growth Partners, Ani, are your clients mostly in the global south, or is it a mix?
This is a mix. I work even I work with an Africa, yeah, nonprofit also, you know.
Great.
Yeah, so they're a different place. I work still with Latin American for just for Latin America in Peru but we have to all of those non-profit they have to to open their minds, and
Yeah.
I take them to open to look for another kind of partnerships,
Hmm.
even the local, even the ones that are in Peru,
I see.
yeah, because everything is changing and you have instability everywhere. I always say, okay, we have the global south have a lot of instability, but you have some instability here too. So
Yes.
I get together with some, non-profit leaders, and they talk about the same,
Oh,
they
sure.
have obviously the same problems sometimes. So yes, so it's a changing world. So you have to look for different opportunities, You have
Yeah.
to open your mind to look for different partners. I remember it was some weeks ago. I was talking to a nonprofit leader from the global north, a global north organization that have operations in a couple of countries in Latin America,
Hmm.
and he wanted to we wanted to develop a partnership, a corporate partnership strategy, you
Oh,
know. And I was asking him, do you want a partner? Do you think that you need a partner to operate, or do you think that you need a partner to grow?
mm.
And he told me, oh, okay, I have to fill my operations. I have to found my operations because I want to grow in a way, in a way. But it's not true, totally true, because the same, if you are just wanted to fill the operation, you are just focusing your own sector. If you want to grow, you have to create development, you have to open your mind to different sectors,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
you are going to need someone else that brings a different program, a complement to your mission, to develop,
Yeah.
the community, So that was an interesting, conversation because they didn't have that, planets, So, but
Right.
so I think I am the kind of consultant, that's going to push you to take away from their comfort zone, whatever. But yeah, that's the way I see fundraising. And fundraising for me, as I tell you before, is an outcome, from that
Mm.
partnership building,
Yeah.
it doesn't come first. No, it comes later. You first you have to build those connections.
Yes.
To get stronger with those connections, and then comes the fundraising. If you want this to fundraising, that's a sustainable way.
That's right.
Yeah, so yeah, because unfortunately there are some organizations that still are, working from the urgency. Oh, we need to do a gala because we have to found, this
Right.
program. No, you have to build to pipeline with, with these sustainable donors, you have to build your partnership first.
That's
Yes,
true.
yeah, so
Yeah.
yes. But it's a kind of mindset. It's
Hmm.
about that. And I have a good story about that, if you
Sure.
want to.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
I'm full of stories. I have a good story about this kind of commitment you have when you have your networking, your ecosystem, your stakeholders. You have a very a network of stakeholders committed with
Yeah.
your mission. Everything, they are going to support you in the hard times also.
Yes.
So I was when I resigned from to be the director of the shelter. One of the board members that nonprofit, invited me to join her to her company. She is amazing. She's a very smart lady, and she has a very a great team of. They are event planner corporate company,
Okay.
and they wanted to place a huge event. No, the name of the event is Perú Sostenible. I want to say the names.
Sure.
It's a non-profit, in Peru, but
Mm.
that brings together, they have a big network of corporate leaders in Peru, And
Okay.
this huge summit, no, this event brings together experts and global organizations around sustainable development goals. You know,
Mm.
so I was they invite me to lead the sponsorship management for that event. No, so okay, I love all the kind of challenge. So okay, I'm going to do that. No, so and then I started working with them in January 2020
Oh, okay.
on-site event, huge one, And I remember I already had, my 2 contracts signed, big, sponsorships, sponsors, already. And then we had the pandemic hit.
Right.
We almost broke because okay, you event planner company, on-site events, pandemic, you know,
Yeah, that's
don't fit
crazy.
together. So yeah.
Right.
So, but we put it in aside for a while, the event, no, to know how we're going to do, no, because with everything. So we were uh, talking about to build up to make some research, to place virtual events, not just for Peru Sustainable, but for different kind of events. And after that research, we decided to build up a new digital platform from scratch. So
Wow.
we hired UX experience consultants,
No?
and all the team, we are develop skills, digital skills, because in that time, we don't even know how to deal with a Zoom.
Right.
So was because we are not that used that we are now, these kind
That's
of
true.
meetings. Yeah. So yeah.
That's
So
true.
what's so funny, and this lady is one of my best friends now, this CEO, because you get really closer to really great people in hard times, I believe that.
Yeah, I believe it
So I
too.
have this lady is amazing, and all the team. The name of the company is CMPS. It's like 1,000 feet. Is the name of the event planner, because they
Oh,
are like a unique team. Doing a lot
oh,
of things, and they are great. So we
oh.
placed the event, and so we build up the platform. So now, okay, it was my turn. Okay, you have to
Mm,
look for some sponsors now,
mm.
because that event, was never pay anything out of pocket. Just was all the costs were from the sponsors.
Oh,
So
okay.
okay, I had a big responsibility
Yes.
then. So I have to look for the sponsor. So I went go and look for, and that was so hard because we were in pandemic. All the corporate leaders were so hidden too. Were struggling with a lot of problems inside their companies. you
Yes.
know and I started, to okay, say okay, I'm going just to talk with them, have schedule some meetings with them, just to talk with them about how they are doing.
Right.
And so, but there was a very committed network. This organization has a very committed network.
Mm,
So they opened the doors to me. I already knew some of them, but most of them I didn't. So it was my
see.
first time, talking to them.
Yeah.
And I just listened to them. How are you doing? How are you doing? They told me about the family, the kids, everything. But we had a very nice connection, together. We're not the
Great.
CEO of the company, not the corporate leader, kind of a, ESG leader. No, it was a person, the human being, beside the
Right.
role, who was telling me about the kids, about the even the vitamins that you were taking, for the COVID or whatever, no, to avoid COVID. But so we really have this good connection.
That's
And then I built the opportunity, I built this sponsorship package with them, with their ideas, how to want to go. And there was a very big message, behind that, because the best time that you could show how sustainable you were was in the
mm,
pandemic, because sustainable is about, take care about your
that's
providers,
true.
your people. So if you want, and we were trying to get together like a country again. So okay,
Yeah.
your company have to you can show how you are doing with this.
Right.
And this to be virtual, give the opportunity to have the best experts, around sustainability in the world.
Mm,
So at the end, the event was really successful, and
great.
we got a revenue not just paid for the cost for the event. We have a profit of 30% more for the
Wow.
for the organization, and it continued, increasing year over year because
Mm,
you have this commitment, committed, networking of corporate leaders already.
right. I see.
And so they did. So so that is what happened when you have this kind of connection with your partners. You are going to go better in hard times.
Yes.
So you need to build that. Because fundraising, you never know what's going on. This world changes always. You never know what's going to happen next day. You
Correct.
know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had my strategy perfect, aligned, even two sponsors and pandemic hit. So
Right.
a pandemic. I could never know that. Yes. Okay. So I'm a believer that that connections are doing all the work for you. If you know how to deal with them, if you know how to build them. If you are
Yeah,
really interested, about the person behind the role.
that's true.
Yeah.
As I've listened to your conversation, Ani, I'm just really struck by all the learning you have had to do to where you are at this point in your career. So,
Yeah.
volunteering in the cancer center and then getting exposed to nonprofit work in the shelter and then moving to another country and learning, the customs and the work of nonprofit as a profession here,
Yeah.
and then learning how to launch your own company on top of that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I'm resilient. I love challenges.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just amazing to me, like this, decades long quest of continual learning and adapting. So
Yeah. I know
kudos
that
to
you never
you.
you never stop learning. And
Yeah.
I have to say, really, that I'm a quiet a believer. I think I have a big faith.
Yes.
I really I think God is a big source for strength for me personally and professionally too.
Same.
He was with me each step I take. So
Yes.
that is how I sometimes I feel lost. What am I going to do? What I'm thinking about that. But then
Right.
I realize I always pray that He can connect me with the right persons because I always want to help
Yes.
others. It
Yes.
is about, it's something I have in my heart. I want to help others. So what I can do to help others. So connect to the right people. And you are in this way of thinking and feeling you are going to connect to the right people because there is another people that are going to want to found something like you are telling. So it's something
Yes.
about that. Also, I remember, for example, one of the major donors in the nonprofit I work with was a volunteer, and he was amazing. And now was a member of the board. He's one
Um,
of the members of the board.
Right.
Because it's about connection. It's about
Yes.
that he believes in the mission.
Yeah.
And all these donors, and partners and these people have their own stories,
I
behind,
do.
their own story, their own challenge, and those are goals. You have to take the time to listen at them,
Yes.
why you want to found this, what are your interests,
Yeah.
around this cause, or around the cause that you want to found, because nobody is for all the causes. It's sometimes some people prefer to found, in the individual giving, some people prefer to found, health,
Right.
non-profit, the other education. They have their own, interests around that. And you
That's
have
true.
to know that the story behind that, because there is a story for sure.
Yes. But you love to hear the stories and you love to share your stories too.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's good for me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Absolutely, it is. Yes.
Yes. Well, Ani, we're almost at the hour mark here, but thank you for a really fun and moving and enjoyable conversation. And thank you for sharing your story with people in fundraising today.
Oh, thank you very much. I want to say something little thing.
Sure, please.
I think fundraisers, in spite of what some people can think about, that's chasing people for giving,
Right.
I think we have the best job
Mm,
in the world because have the power to change realities,
yes.
So that is, this kind of thing when I was, don't quick because I won't quick, this kind of words, no, that I feel until today is about that. It's about people. It's about people that
Yeah,
are counting on you,
that's
to to
true.
to 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 get their dreams come true, to get their because they're behind these people that wants to be cured, for example, there is a goal, a life goal behind. They want to be cured for something else. They want to be cured for start a career, for building a house, to develop some small business. So
Right.
yeah, so it's about to showing up for all these people.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's beautifully said.
yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank
go on, don't cook.
you. Don't quit, right?
Yes, yes.
Well, Anna Maria, thank you again for your time today. I'm excited to share your interview later this summer with the People in Fundraising audience. And for people that watch, listen, tune in, thank you for supporting this podcast over the last 4 years. You'll be able to find Ani's conversation on LinkedIn with the link to YouTube, as well as the audio only file on Spotify and Podbean. And thanks to my 100th guest, Luis Diaz of WISE, WIZE, and the Donor Participation Project. He is sponsoring my website. Ani's conversation will also be on there at peopleinfundraising.wordifysites.com. So, Ani, it was a pleasure to talk with you today. I look forward to staying in touch and cheering you on.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.